Here's Brokaw weighing in on that idea.
I think it's an indication. I think it's a telltale sign about where the Republicans are. 4 years ago, when the president was making that speech, Republicans were meeting at night, trying to decide how they were going to defeat him when he runs for re-election. They lost that big time. He had a very robust electoral victory and a significant popular vote victory. Now the Republicans are in disarray, trying to organize their party so they have a future.
They're not even thinking about that yet. The Republican Party is trying to stay out of Obama's crosshairs right now. People who donated to the Republican Party are trying to stay out of Obama's crosshairs right now. There are all kinds of people who think of themselves in the opposition who are trying not to be noticed by Obama right now. There is a profound amount of fear for Obama and what his government could do and might be inclined to do to people that teach them a lesson. So it's low-profile city all the way. And let's just sit back. We can't stop it anyway. So let's hope something comes along outside of everybody's control, some event or series of events that wakes people up and rights the ship. I think that's where people are right now. Not everybody, but a vast majority. Now, one other thing here about this business of Reagan and transformational and Obama. There's a big distinction here that needs to be made. You have all of these media types marveling here at Obama. I was warning everybody, but they're all sitting there marveling how Obama's replicating and emulating Reagan, changing the trajectory of the country, transforming America, blah, blah, blah. That's not what Reagan did. Reagan might have changed the trajectory in the sense that he reoriented people's lives to themselves and away from government. Reagan celebrated the Constitution, the founding, the uniqueness of this country. Reagan respected our democratic system. By transformational applied to Reagan, it means that Reagan was trying to rebuild the country. Reagan was trying to save it. Reagan was attempting to reorient the country toward its founding. That's not what Obama's doing. And yet, by giving Obama the imprimatur of Reagan, it's a really dangerous thing to do, because here we have the Republican Party, well, certain commentators basically awarding Obama with Reaganistic or Reaganism and Reagan-type characteristics, and that there isn't anything similar. Reagan did not govern in defiance of the Constitution. Reagan did not govern in defiance of the founding. Reagan was not angry and fed up. Reagan was not about grievance politics. Reagan didn't think that a bunch of people had gotten away with murder in the past and they needed to be gotten even with now. Reagan wasn't about targeting the enemy other than the Soviet Union and other communists. He wasn't about targeting the enemy and wiping them out. You will not find in 8 years of Reagan anything like what you're reading today about eliminating the Democrats, pulverizing the Democrats, going for the throat, wiping them out. That's not what Reagan was. That's not what Reagan did. Reagan won in the arena of ideas. Reagan won people's hearts and minds. Obama's not doing that. Obama's not winning with his ideas. Obama's not garnering support for his ideas. That's what frustrates me. Obama is winning purely and simply by lying and demonizing his opposition. Obama, Brokaw couldn't be further from the truth here in explaining Obama's victory. Oh, yeah, popular election. He won it big time. Very robust electoral victory, significant popular vote victory, 3-point victory. But the Republican base stayed home because they were angry at the Republican Party and at Romney. But people voted against Romney. They were not voting for Obama. This is what everybody misses. Obama had demonized Romney for a full year, and people believed it. They believed that Romney didn't care when a guy's wife. There has never been a candidate for the White House more charitable, more giving, more decent. Forget political ideas and concepts. Just in terms of humanity, there's never been a better person run for the office than Romney. Maybe some people close. And to have the American people end up believing that this guy hated dogs, quickly allowed people's wives to die without caring about it, and had secret money stashes all over the world, not paying his taxes and so forth. I mean, it was robust, to use Brokaw's language. It was robust the way Romney was destroyed. That's how Obama wins. And that's what Obama's going to continue to do. And that's what the media is urging him to do, is the point. And they come along and say that, well, like Reagan, he's transforming America. He's trying to fundamentally change the trajectory and so forth. In his dreams, Obama will be as successful as Reagan. But one thing Obama couldn't do, he couldn't get close to winning the way Reagan did. He can't get close to emulating Reagan in terms of transforming the country, because not what Reagan did. Reagan didn't win by telling lies about his opposition. Reagan didn't win by demonizing everybody. Reagan didn't win by convincing people that the Democrats were big reprobates, human debris and all that. That's all Obama's got. He can't win on the strength of his ideas, and he doesn't run on them. And his inaugural address was a bunch of pap and emptiness. And it was just more of the same in terms of his lofty plans for a government that was never intended to be, by virtue of the founders of this country. And to attach Reagan to that, the way some of these analysts are doing, is quite offensive. Yeah, well, he seeks fundamental change. He does, but Reagan was a defender of the Constitution, not a destroyer of it. I mean, it's a huge difference. And it is kind of galling. This is why I've been mentioning it, folks. Maybe I haven't been communicating this well enough. Lord knows that's possible. But it's just been galling to me to watch the Democrat Party co-opt Ronald Reagan, use them to advance themselves, while in the process totally misrepresenting who and what Reagan was and did. And then to have analysts sit by and marvel at it has been a little bit much. Tough to take, but it is what's been happening and continues to.